Yo guys, today we're gonna be getting a little emotional as we take a trip down the toxic memory lane. If you've ever played Rocket League, you most likely have come across one or two toxic people who have really ruined your fun. So to see just how bad toxicity in Rocket League can get, I asked my community to share their stories. These stories were so good, and when I heard some of them, I just couldn't believe that it actually got that bad sometimes. The stories will be reenacted in video form to help make it seem like you were there too. I know you might be already thinking about your own experiences, but for now,
So how long is this intro going to be, man?
What are you doing here? I'm in the middle of a video.
It would be in the middle of the video if your intro wasn't half of it.
But I need to tell them about why they should subscribe.
No one's going to be awake to subscribe, bro. Like, everyone's sitting here waiting for the video, and here you are rambling on, still in the intro, 5 minutes later.
Dude, it hasn't been that long.
Whatever, nerd.
Okay, so yeah, let's just get into the video. Good evening, Morgan Bellman here. Our first story comes from Stannis Normal, a player who just wanted to play some 2v2s. Let's hear about his run-in with a toxic teammate while solo queuing.
Okay, so I think it was in a twos game, and I was just solo queuing by myself, and everything was normal. It was going good. We were just playing. Then all of a sudden, my teammate just starts water saving everything. Like, even if I'm making a save, he would water save me. He would start bumping me every 2 seconds. He would start own going, like he would like own goal, and like he would just make me mad for no reason. I think it was smurfing too, and he was trying to de-rank his account, but it was just so toxic. It was just a really bad experience. You just have to be there to experience it, you know? Usually I can, like, you know, put it aside and just not pay attention, but sometimes it gets to you and it makes you really mad, and it just sucks sometimes, but you get over it. That's how the game is. But I guess now it's okay. It's getting better.
All right, Morgan Bellman had to go, so I'm back, and our second toxic experience comes from a player who was in his promotion game from Diamond 3 to Champ 1. He chose to remain anonymous.
So I was sitting in my promotion game to Champ 1, and this little 10-year-old shit on my team was taking every single full juice when I'm sitting there at no juice the entire game, dude. They're out here scoring on us because I gotta drive my ass to Narnia to grab a single crumb of juice. I tried being nice to him and telling him to
flip off,
and then he demos me. Like, it's 2-4 now with 2 minutes left, and I can't do
sugar
because of the boost. This
flipping Stitch
thinks he's so good because he scored 2 goals after taking every juice pack on cooldown like it's a
flipping
power weapon in Halo 3. And after finally getting to 100 boost, now I said,
flip this game.
I scored own goal 3 times.
Wait, dude, this is supposed to be like toxic experiences that have happened to you, like not things that you've done to other people.
Oh. Well, fuck off, dude.
Well, that wasn't exactly what I was looking for, so let's just go ahead and move on to our next story. 4-4 comes to us with his story, and this one has to take the cake for the most toxic one so far.
Yeah, well, so I actually remember I tweeted at like Psionics because this guy like really got to me. This was way back in October of 2017, so I was just getting into the game, I guess, and yeah, I was just getting it, or I was like a year into the game, so I wasn't too good, so I was probably like in gold. So you know how it goes in gold, not everybody's good, everybody's always whiffing and stuff, and this one guy just was getting really mad at me. He was on my team, it was doubles, and he just started flaming me in chat, and he was like screaming in chat. He was like, I was keeping calm, and he was just like using all caps and stuff. And he told me that I'm the epitome of the Rick and Morty fan base. So I said, I said, thanks, man. I do take pride in my 200 plus IQ. And then he said in chat, please do the community a favor and
end your tyranny.
Smiley face. And then after the game ends. I leave. We go our separate ways. But he goes to my Steam account and he leaves a comment and he says, the worst teammate to exist, the epitome of the Rick and Morty fan base who constantly brags about his intelligence and corrects grammar. Honestly, can I curse? Honestly,
flipping.
I hope your family gets syphilis and you slowly watch them melt from the inside out. You know, I never before has anybody gone to the lengths to comment on my Steam profile. So I was like, wow. It's not on my profile, but I have a picture on my Twitter that I can send in chat or DM you or something. There's the picture of the comment on my Steam profile. I actually have a bigger picture of it. Yeah, it was a pretty bad one. And I still deal with toxicity even to this day.
Wow, yeah, that story was crazy. Like, the amount of effort people put towards flaming another Rocket League player is sometimes amazing. Well, let's see some of those efforts people went through with our next story from Frenchie.
So I played against this guy. His name's Grizzly. I literally blocked him like a long time ago. I did some ranked 1v1s, right? And this guy, every time I scored, he would always keep saying toxic things over and over. So I was like, oh, you're such a nice guy. I'm just gonna be nice and say thank you very much. And then I had him for like 3 or 4 other games. He kept being toxic like that, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know why people keep telling me to kiss myself. My gosh. And I'm like, I'm just gonna mute you and block you. So yeah.
So even 1v1s are victim to toxicity. Well, let's give our next story a listen. Surely there are no toxic players in the low ranks of silver, right?
It didn't happen to me, but in the game, like, you can just feel the toxicity. It was like a year and I'd say like a couple months, like a year and a half ago, a month or two after I started playing Rocket League. I was probably like a low mid silver. So you wouldn't think there'd be toxic people in silver, right? Because everyone's bad and like, no one cares. So I was just trying to get better. I queued up for a regular twos game. And my opponents, I could obviously immediately tell they were a lot better than me and my teammate. But for somehow, one of my like opponents take his teammate off really, really hard. Like cutting him off or just like ball chasing or something. They started exchanging some words.
Are you serious? You're so actually so freaking trash this game. Like, what are you doing?
Dude, you are so bad. You are not good. What are you doing? You are so bad.
David hit the ball. You suck so bad. Like, what are you doing?
Bad. Your controller disconnected.
To the point where the other guy just started own goaling on his own net, and so me and my teammate just sat in our net watching as they cussed each other out and own goaled on each other throughout the match, basically throwing the match to us. And they got to the point where they started like giving each other like death wishes, like I hope you get
Candy.
stuff like that. And that's how I got a free win in silver.
I guess toxicity can sometimes be a good thing because you can get free wins. But let's check with our next player to hear his experience on Rocket League.
Oh yeah, I don't have story because I'm lonely.
Wow, that was actually kind of sad, but we must move on, and now we're going to hear from Frowsey, and he has a story about the time a toxic player made him break his keyboard.
Well, it was a long time ago, actually. But I do remember when I was... Actually, this was like 2 years ago when I was still bronze. And I remember to run into this Smurf in once. And I remember that he was doing like flip races of double tap, something like that, like super heavy mechanics. I asked him like, what do I have to do like to play that? And he started talking to me like I was a child. So it started to piss me off because he probably was a child. So that was the funny part. But I started getting like super angry. Like he told me, you suck so much, you're never gonna get rank and stuff like that. I was thinking of leaving the game, but I just like kept arguing with him about how he wasn't right and stuff like that. And I remember that it was like very late in the night, so I was probably super tired. And for some reason, I think that maybe where I was in that moment of my life, that the stuff that he just said kind of like got me like pretty deep in a weird way, because I wasn't aware at that time how much of a mental game Rocket League is. I wanted to get better at this game, but I didn't know how much mental fortitude it requires. I remember that at some point I threw my keyboard like to the floor. That's not super weird for me. I remember like 5 years ago or something like that, I broke my laptop playing World of Warcraft. And I like just, yeah, I smashed like I punched my laptop and the hard drive just broke and lost all my stuff and had to buy a new one. But yeah, that was one of the first time that I thought like, man, like this game like really gets you. And yeah, I think I remember that breaking out my keyboard back then. And I stopped playing for like 6 months, for a year or more. And actually I started playing again because I just started using controller.
All right, so the moral of the story is do not be toxic, do not get tilted, and make sure to switch to controller. Please subscribe to CBell and tell them if you'd like more Morgan Bellman in the future.